Hi everyone, exeter-rider. Now this week is all about the Moto Morini Seiemmezzo 650 STR. This is going to be the first ride video. I'm just going to talk you through the bike and let you know what this bike is all about. Moto Morini are an Italian company and they have been making bikes for decades now and have recently been taken over by a Chinese company. Moto Morini still have a factory and where they put together some bikes in Italy, just outside Milan. Now let's start straight away with the basics of it. The engine, for example, is based on the Kawasaki ER6, and even the setup on the back here with the rear spring is very Kawasaki based as well, like what you'd find on the 650 Versus and some of the other bikes as well. Finishing wise, it looks it's impeccable, actually. It really is. I mean, this is as good as what you'd find on any Japanese, one of the big four brands there. In fact, I'd even say it's better. It's just a really nice looking bike. The exhaust, don't see the cat underneath here, and it's got some sort of cowl over the front here, so it hides that big Euro 5 catalytic converter. Whoopsie daisy. That's one of the things I don't like so much, is the rear license plate holder there, but we'll scrub that for now. So the exhaust looks, it's amazing. It's the best exhaust I've ever seen on a bike, in my personal opinion, because a lot of them are either really big or they show a lot of the bits underneath, whereas this is just really discreetly designed into the bike itself. And all those Italian design finishes, which is something which they really shine on. I really like this chrome plate here, the 6.5, obviously meaning 650cc. The 16-litre tank has got a nice proportion to it, nicely shaped and chiselled in there. Loads of Moto Morini signs and logos, and honestly, it really is a nice looking bike. The switchgear is illuminated as well. The switchgear again is really nice and tactile and feels good. We've got adjustable clutch lever and front lever, a TFT screen, bearing in mind that you're only paying around £6,700, I believe this bike is. Brembo's on the front, Brembo on the rear, twin disc on the front as well, I might add. But again, it just feels like the Z650 that I rode back in, I think it's 2019. Styling, they've absolutely nailed it, I think. The engine is nice. The stitching on the seat is first class as well. Every little detail on it is really, really nice. Now, you lot do know that I would say, if there's anything which I can pin down on it that I don't like, some people are a bit funny about Chinese manufacturing, and I understand why from years ago. There's nothing you can look at on this bike which you can pick at, I can promise you that, and that's not just me saying that. I have asked many other people as well, if there's anything that they don't like about it or can pin against it, and it is honestly nothing much there at all. So moving on from that, I will be bringing you a full review of this bike in time. Let's get up a bit closer, shall we? At some point. But first impressions, it's it really is a beautiful bike. It's really, really nice. It's a bike which I can own now. Actually, I'd be quite happy with it. It's a 650 engine, as I say, and this particular 650 feels much better than any other 650 that I've ridden on the market in this naked form. It's a parallel twin as well. It goes like stink when you on demand. It really does go really, really well. Very, very fast, really. Picks up well, and even when you hit sort of 70, it's still got loads more power when you drop down the gears. Again, it kind of eggs you on a bit, I find. I found the same with the Z650, with it likes to be thrashed. It's an engine which likes to be at higher revs. Around town, it's a little bit on and off, I find, but controllable. Not too abrupt. But it's not the best managed engine for around town riding. But out on the open road, it's brilliant. It's a lot of fun. We have the Angel GT tyres as well, which should grip pretty well. I am doing this video mid-January, and it is very greasy, and it's only recently that the frost is sort of dispersed. So I've got the bike for 4 weeks or so, probably a bit longer than that. So I should be able to really get to know the bike really well. LED lights all around as well, which look really nice. And look at that seat, it's beautiful. Hopefully you can see this, but look at this screen here, look, the dashboard. It's a 5-inch TFT screen, starts up in a beautiful manner, and you've got the rev bar here, the gear indicator and the miles per hour. If there's anything I can pin against this bike, I think the miles per hour I need there. I keep on looking for the miles per hour here, but it's never there, of course. And yeah, so we've got the gear indicator there and the rev bar. And as you can see, the switch gear is really nice, very, very tactile. It's just it's a class bike. It honestly is a real good, classy bike, this. It's so much so that I'd be happy to own one of these. And again, compared to the competition where everything is becoming quite over-refined, I mean, I'm looking at this bike and I'm thinking, you know, that honestly, I would like to own this bike. And bearing in mind that it is under 7 grand as well. Competition wise, what we're looking at the MT-07. I think Kawasaki still have some sort of 650, don't they, of some description out there at the moment. I think it's the Z650, I believe. I mean, I'm looking at this thinking, why would you want to spend more money when you're getting the same bike, well, I'd even argue possibly a better bike than the other 650s, you know, in the rest of the brands. It's beautiful machine, really is very, very good. Anyway, let's get out and have a ride. So first thing that you notice when getting on this bike is how tightly everything is nicely put together. Oh, careful with the ice. You know what I'm like. Yeah, it's really nicely put together, this bike. And feels solid, there's no jiggery pokery anywhere. There's no backlash on the gearbox. Everything's, you know, tightly confined into some really nice, in a really nice way. Again, switchgear is absolutely superb, really, really nice. And it really does take off when you ask it to. It's got loads of power, mainly at the top end. As I said before, it is a bike which likes to be in the higher rev ranges rather than down low. So Motomorini had just got back into the swing of things again, back in the UK. They never had a large presence in the UK, but by the looks of it, that could soon change, because this particular bike here deserves to sell really, really well. It's a heck of a bike, and if you told me I was on a Kawasaki now, I would quite believe it. It feels like a Kawasaki, it rides like a Kawasaki, and in fact I'd even say it looks better than a Kawasaki. You know, you're almost looking for issues with the finish and the paint quality and all that, but it is exceptionally good. And it really does shift. Really, really shifts. The dash is beautiful to look at when you're riding along. You really feel like you're on a premium motorcycle here. And if you're a bit of a hooligan, you're going to love this bike. Well, I'm not doing too much today. I'm going to leave it there. But thanks very much for watching. I will be bringing you more on this bike shortly, and a full review, as long as the frost doesn't come into play once again. And if you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments down below, and I'll try and answer them, alright? But as I say, overall first impressions of this bike are, you know, to me it's a 10 out of 10 for this bike. It really is very, very good. You know, for under £7,000 you're getting a high spec bike, and it doesn't feel like they're trying too hard. It almost feels like it's a natural progression for them with this bike. Even the gear change is superb. It really is very nice indeed. Sounds good, fun. Anyway, let's leave it there. As you can tell, I'm really enjoying this bike. So thanks very much for watching. If you could give it a like, that would be super. And here's what's coming up in the main review.